tougher than the top of the bracket.
Yeah.
If you look at it, so the bottom is Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Miami, Ole Miss, Tulane.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be Georgia, Ohio State playing in the semis. We'll see.
All right. Well, that's that. The playoffs are set. The matchups are set. And we're going to get things cooking. When does this starts on New Year's Day, right?
Oh, goodness. That's a good question.
No, I think it's... hold on.
Let me look.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We've got plenty of time between now and then to talk about it. But yeah, I believe it gets going on New Year's Day.
Well, the college football playoff starts 12 days.
They do? That first round?
And the 20th. What's that?
That first round is going to be...
Yes, 19th and 20th. And then the next round is on New Year's and New Year's Eve. And then the semifinals are the 9th, 8th and 9th. And the final is the 19th of January.
Okay. I guess it's the 12 teams. Okay. All right. We're in for a lot of bonus football this year. I mean, look, there's still going to be bowls going on, but is anyone really paying attention to the bowl games with this expanded playoff format at this point?
There's going to be a lot of roster churn going on, and the playoffs suck the air out of the rest of college football, which I loathe.
Yep.
Okay, I legitimately loathe that because I think college football used to have the most special regular season in all of sport.
Absolutely.
And now it's been completely devalued by the playoff. And the suits will all tell me I'm wrong, but the suits don't have a soul. They are soulless. They
pray at the altar of the almighty dollar. And as long as they keep being rewarded by the TV contracts, they're not going to care what it's doing to the sport itself.
No, they absolutely don't care.
All right. Well, that's that. We'll get going. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if Notre Dame is going to field a good bowl game after being left out like this, right?
We'll see. I mean, look, I really like their coach. Freeman's a good coach. Okay. And I think that he's got good team chemistry. He may sit some seniors in the game or let some other guys have some playing time for development purposes. We'll see because we'll have the rest of the bowl games announced here in the next couple hours. Right?
Yep.
But, man, that I'm actually surprised they put Bama in at Notre Dame's expense because Bama they do not. That loss to Florida State and the way they just got trounced by Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, because did you watch the game?
I did not.
Georgia brought some real violence and aggression to that game that Bama could not match. And
I wonder if they're right for an upset.
Who, Bama?
Bama. Well, not an upset, but a loss. Yeah. It wouldn't be an upset technically, but yes.
I mean, I think that there's a really good shot they beat Oklahoma because Oklahoma is not good offensively. I mean, that Oklahoma-Alabama game could be really competitive, but I don't think either one of them is going to beat Indiana. I think Indiana's just better coached, and they've got a good enough roster to beat those two horribly flawed teams. Mm-hmm. Now, we'll see. Okay, I could be super wrong about this.
Yeah.
I'll look at it more as specific matchups as we get closer to it.
Yep. Okay, well, thanks a lot, Playoff Selection Committee, because I intended to wrap this up in a couple of minutes after we got back from the break, but here we are because of what they did. But hey, maybe that's why they do it, right? It spurs conversation, it spurs clicks, and that's the world we live in right now. It's not what's best for the sport, but it's what's best for engagement, which translates to dollars. So here we are. All right, well, let's switch things up a little. I'm going to swivel the spotlight just slightly over.
Touchdown!
Yeah, Pierce, touchdown. What are those Colts up to? And we started this conversation with how evaluators can be so wrong, talking about in the context of the NBA, but football also, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
is
two
Danny
superstars.
Dimes what we saw in New York, or is Danny Dimes what we're seeing with the Colts?
Well, I think it's somewhere in between, but I think it's closer to what we're seeing in Indianapolis than it is to New York.
Wow. Well, he's got that offense fired up, leading the NFL in scoring. Is that offense, that Colts offense, and it's not really a surprise, right? You've got one of the top 3 running backs in the game, right?
Oh, yeah.
You've got talent all the way across at the skill positions between Pittman, Pierce, Downs, and even the tight end position, even without the stud rookie tight end that they brought in, what's his name, Ogletree was had done pretty well for the last few years, but now you've brought in the rookie who is the for all intents and purposes, talking about recent history, he's the next coming of Sam Laporta, right? He's stepped in as one of the top receiving tight end options in the game. Not just a rookie, but a top receiving tight ends in the game. And you get those skill positions to an adequate and above average, maybe an above average quarterback, and he's going to look good as long as you can protect him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Look, that goes to the Kevin O'Connell thing about organizations failing quarterbacks. You can design quarterback-friendly offenses, and they can do really well as long as you kind of design them around the quarterback, right? And that includes a good offensive line, which Indiana has, and the good skill position players. And the question is, what are they going to do against elite defenses in the playoffs? And I think we kind of have that answer already with Indianapolis, which is they're not going to win a Super Bowl. But you know what? For their team, who's been kind of
down since Andrew Luck announced that retirement,
ever since
right?
I drafted Andrew Luck and he retired 3 days later or whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember that. But yes, so they've revived the franchise. Are they going to win the Super Bowl? Highly unlikely. But hey, we'll see. We'll see, because the talent just, what's really surprising and kind of selfishly, I just benched Michael Pittman for Michael Wilson because Harrison is out in Arizona again. And I think so Wilson and Brissett.
Season, not that it mattered.
I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter who's defending him. He's going to be peppered with 15, 16, 18 targets, right? He's gonna produce at least a little bit, or maybe I would imagine at this point it's a volume thing, right? By the way, thanks a lot for that advice about Jefferson last week. You said it was going to be a volume game.
I said it could. Well, the problem I did not anticipate them not being able to screen pass.
Yeah, it was abysmal. So at this point, this is where we are. I was really, really wondering if I should. So I wanted to start once they announced Harrison's out. I wanted to start Michael Wilson. Right, that's a no-brainer. So I'm looking at Pittman and Jefferson. And the fact that I had to think about which one of these I should bench. Not to mention the fact that looking, without the, I mentioned name recognition with those college football teams, right? Without the name, looking at the resume, the one I should be benching is Jefferson, not Pittman. But I was like, it's Justin Jefferson. I got to leave him in. And here we are.
Look, is J.J. McCarthy playing again today?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. Look, he's better than Brockmeyer or whatever.
Yes.
But the problem is, something got messed up with McCarthy's mechanics this year. And I don't know how the Vikings fix it. They're playing the Commanders, who are a bad team, okay? And we'll see. I mean, we'll see. They kick off in 11 minutes.
I need Jefferson. All right, one more thing about fantasy football. So because I've been talking about across the season, talking about that guillotine league, Man, oh man. What do I always say? Fantasy football is a fickle mistress, my friend. I had that team. I averaged more points than anybody else by a wide margin. I got to the final matchup of that guillotine league. I had Jameer Gibbs has a bad day.
Yeah.
I had Jonathan Taylor has a bad day. So
that's fantasy in a nutshell, though. Like,
and so
there was a 7-week stretch this year where my fantasy team was arguably the best in our league. I think I was like second or third most points over that 7-week span, but I was the most consistent team over that time. And now my team is just a bunch of dog food. I'm limping into the playoffs. If we'd have played the playoffs, from weeks 4 to 10, there's an outside chance I would have won it. Okay, maybe 30% chance.
Yeah.
Now I would put that charitably at 5.
Yep.
That's how you had Jackson Smith.
And I had Jigba on that guillotine. I ended up losing by 7 points.
His worst game of the year, not even close.
I couldn't, I was running around. I was doing something, but I'm checking scores, and he had nothing. He had 0 catches at the half. I thought he got injured.
Yeah, I was worried about that too.
But then he has that one catch.
What chance I do have is tied to him.
I don't get it. I don't know.
They just you know what it is? They didn't have to run. They didn't have to pass the ball to beat Minnesota. And I think that it is decided, let's not give Minnesota any mistakes. We'll run the ball, let Minnesota make all the mistakes with their true rookie, and we'll get a win, and that counts just as much as anything else.
Yeah. And that one game hurt me quite a bit. At least Justin Jefferson's, for all intents and purposes, goose egg. I mean, he had 2 catches for 5 yards or whatever it was. It didn't hurt me in our league. I still won the game, but in Jigba, in that guillotine league, I was so irritated. I went in. Obviously, it's just 2 teams left, so all the players, right? The other team is also loaded. In spite of that, when the game started, I was predicted to win by 14 points, and every single player had, even my quarterback. I had Josh Allen, and Josh Allen, in spite of winning that game, he did not have a Josh Allen day. He only had 1 touchdown passing, and 1 rushing. So yeah, that's fantasy. As I said, it doesn't matter how good a team you put together. It's still you need some luck on your side, and sometimes the luck can go the wrong way, and it did in that guillotine league. Some dude.
It just kills you. Hey, I want to mention something real quick on college football.
What's up?
And I'll leave it alone after that. You know who 247 Sports is? They track all the recruiting stuff, and they have team pages and all that. Yep. Ohio State has 11 5-stars, 56 4-stars, 18 3-stars on their team. Jeez. Indiana has 0 5-stars, 7 4-stars, and 55 3-stars on their team.
Yep. Well, so, but just to give a little bit of context, these are young kids. They're coming in at 18. They get those stars at 16, 17, 18. And then there's development that goes on. And that speaks to the coaches and the staff who are.
Well, that's kind of my point.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to steal your thunder. But yeah, I think, but I think the flip side of that is you pull enough talent, enough highly ranked, highly rated, highly expected talent.
You're going to win a bunch of games.
You're going to win a bunch of games. Like you're going to fall into.
Yes. NFL is more coaching based with good GM picks, and the college is almost entirely talent based. But speaking of the NFL, all right, transitioning away from our fantasy stuff, what games today in our last 6 minutes are you really looking at?
Well, so besides the Buffalo-Cincinnati game, look, forget my homer-ness for this. I think it is a pivotal game because who Cincinnati has back, right? Higgins is over his injury. He's back, and Burrow is throwing the ball. And consequently, this is
a tough game for Buffalo.
It is. It is. Now, Buffalo is the line, surprisingly, I was surprised. The line is -6. But
Buffalo.
For Buffalo. Yeah.
Cincinnati's defense is so bad.
Yeah, it is. But the over-under on this is 54 and a half. And I think it's going to be easily exceeded. I would not. I expect this game to be a 37-30 game, something like that. Now, could Buffalo, because of how terrible the Cincy defense is, could Buffalo touch the 40s? It's possible, but it's possible that this turns into a Tampa Bay Buffalo game from 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
3 weeks ago.
The over-under on the game is 54.
Yep.
It's pretty high for the NFL.
It is. The other game that I'm interested in, the aforementioned Danny Dimes and the Indianapolis Colts playing a surprising Jaguars team. I think that's going to be very, very intriguing. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, just for the train wreck that it is, because some team with a 9-8, and if everything goes right, possibly an 8-9 record is going to win that division, right? So maybe for the train wreck that it is, I think I see Baltimore winning that game. The trajectories that these two teams are, in spite of Baltimore's loss last week, I think Baltimore wins this. But it is very, very possible that this division is going to be won by a 9-8 team. Outside of that, the early slate, there's nothing. I mean, Washington, Minnesota doesn't move the needle.
No,
these are
doesn't get excitement out of the fans of the team. So I mean, Seattle, Atlanta, no.
That Chicago Green Bay.
That's a sickos committee game.
Yeah, the Chicago Green Bay game.
The Saints Bucks could be entertaining from a light up the scoreboard perspective.
Yeah,
and the Steelers Ravens, 2 6-6 teams trying to win the AFC North.
Yep.
We'll see if they, finally throw the ball to that Derek Metcalf fella again, which they've stopped doing the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, is it that they've stopped doing, or is it that Aaron Rodgers has hit that cliff and he just can't get the ball out to DK Metcalf? Metcalf has always been an outside down the field guy, and if Aaron can't get the ball to him, I'm sure he's going to blame the offensive line, but part of it might be his arm. I mean, we've talked about he's 40 plus, and what NFL quarterback has had a good post 40 season? Tom Brady, and that's where the list ends, right? And he was surrounded by talent on the offensive line, at the skill positions, and the protection of the refs.
Tom Brady is somewhat of a unicorn with his absolute obsession with staying in tip-top shape, 365 days a year.
Yep.
No days off ever. But he could not throw the deep ball as well as he used to. Led the league in passing his last year.
Yep.
He was still good, and he may have been able to play 1 or 2 more years, but his body, you could just tell he couldn't move as well, and he didn't have quite the zip or accuracy he used to have. He was still great, okay, but he's the only one that really post 40 had that.
Yeah. So honestly, the premium matchup was Thursday night, that Dallas-Detroit game that Detroit won running away.
Because Dallas defense just
they're only not the worst defense in the league because Cincinnati's playing in the league.
Yes.
And then the Sunday night matchup, Houston, KC. It's the season for Kansas City. I mean, can they mathematically recover if they lose tonight? Maybe.
Yeah, but they got to win tonight.
Yeah, maybe at 10-7. But I think at this point, Kansas City has to win out. And Houston's defense is ferocious. What they did to the Bills a couple of weeks ago, are they going to come close to doing that to Kansas City? Probably not. But I still think this is going to be a defensive struggle, and hopefully, it comes down to the end, and Mahomes can pull a rabbit out of the hat at the end and will his team to a victory. They are favored by 3.5. What do we say? For being at home, you get about 2 to 3 points. So effectively, this is a pick 'em game, right? Yep. It could go either way, and I'm right there. The over under, it's one of the lowest. It's at 41.5. And
lots of snow, by the way, in Buffalo today.
All right, awesome. You know what Josh Allen does in the snow. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about it's going to be a good day. I'm probably going to miss most of football. There's I need to scale back on all the stuff that I'm doing. I'm going to a movie shoot right after this. There's a big movie being it's a short, but it's being shot right here, and I have some involvement with that. And then there's a couple of celebrity events. So I'm gonna miss a lot of football. I'm gonna try to see if I can squeeze in about an hour of Buffalo, Cincinnati at the local Buffalo Bills bar here in Addison. Other than that, I hope your Minnesota Vikings
I
can
see some hope that McCarthy's not a bust.
Yeah, I mean that's
the goal for this. Now.
It's a look. I feel for you. I lived through that for 20 years post Jim Kelly with the Buffalo Bills, right? Yep. Every time you had hope, and every time those hopes were dashed, I hope that you get some positive instead of negative from today. I hope that he can. I mean, he's got to be better than the Bosch Smur kid, whatever his name is.
He is. Brock Smur doesn't have the talent.
Yeah.
But hey, I got to run back out and finish put on Christmas lights, man.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out. You have a good week as well. All right, that was Patrick Shepard, and we are done. Go get your. I hope you got your lineups in because the games kick-started about a minute ago. And enjoy a wonderful, wonderful day of the NFL. And thank you again for tuning in to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad. I'm your host, Rizwan, bringing to you all things sports every Sunday between 10 a.m. and noon. Today was a lot more conversational because of stuff that's happening in real life, all the playoff selection and everything. But generally, we dive into the nuances, maybe even some X's and O's. So tune in again next Sunday at 10 a.m. as we bring to you the Sports Spotlight. I'm your host, Rizwan, signing off. Have a good one.